Alright, testing. Alright, Part C, Part 229, Locomotive Safety, Title 49, CFR 229, 129 locomotive horn. Each lead locomotive shall have the equipped with locomotive horn that they produce the minimum maximum sound of 96 decibels, maximum sound level of 110 decibels at 100 feet forward of the locomotive. In its direction of the travel of the locomotive horn shall be arranged so that they conveniently operate with the engine its usual position, duration, operation of locomotive. Each locomotive built on after September 18, 2006 shall be tested in accordance with the section on ensure the horn installed on such a locomotive in compliance with the paragraph of the A of the section locomotive built on and after September 18, 2006. However, will be tested in accordance with the acceptance of sampling of the scheme, and such as there is probability of a 500ths of less rejection proportional defective equal to the adequate quality level of the 1% or less as set forth in Title 7 CFR Part 43. Each locomotive built on September 18, 2006 shall be tested in accordance with the section before the June 24, 2010 to ensure the locomotive installed with such locomotive is in compliance with the paragraph A of this section. 3. Each remanufactured locomotive is determined pursuant to Statute 229 at 5 of this section part of this part, but should test in accordance with the section to ensure the horn is installed with each of such locomotives in compliance with the paragraph A. Alright, 4.1. Except for the provided in paragraph B 4.2, this section, each of the locomotives equipped with the replacement locomotive horn shall be tested in accordance with the paragraph C of this section before the next two annual testing required in statute 229-27 for the part of the located are completed. Locomotives are likely to be tested individually through the acceptance sampling in accordance with the paragraph B1, B2, B3 of this section shall be not required under the sound level testing equipped with the replacement locomotive horn provided with the replacement locomotive horn the same model as the locomotive horn was replaced in the mounting location type of the mounting or the same testing locomotive horn sound level should be in accordance with the following requirements. Properly calibrated sound level meters shall be used in minimum compliance with the requirements of the Internal Electrotechnical Commission IEC Standard 616 721 2002-05 Class 2 instrument. An acoustic calibration shall be used to minimize the minimum compliance with the requirements of the IEC Standard 60942-1997-11 Class 2 instrument. The manufacturer instruction pertaining to the mounting orientation microphone position of the observer, the periodic factory recalibration shall be followed. The microphone widescreen shall be used with the tripod. Similar microphone mounting shall be the use of the minimum interference with the sound being measured. The test site shall be free of large reflective structures such as barriers, hills, billboards, tractor trailers, or other large vehicles, locomotive, railway cars, adjacent tracks, bridges, buildings within 200 feet of the front side of the locomotive. The locomotive shall be positioned on a straight, level track. Measurements shall be taken only where the ambient temperature is between 32 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees, and exclusively relatively humidity between 20% and 95%, inclusively wind velocities not more than 12 miles per hour. There is no precipitation. With the exemption of the cab mounting low-mounted horns, the microphone shall be located with 100 feet forward with the front knuckle of the locomotive, the 15 above the top of the rail, and its angle of greater than 20 degrees from the center line of the track, oriented with respect to the sound source according to the manufacturer's recommendation for the cab mounted the locomotive. Low-mounted horns, the microphone shall be 100 feet forward with the front knuckle of the locomotive, 4 feet above the top of the rail at the angle of greater than 20 degrees from the center line of the track, or oriented with respect to the sound source according to the manufacturer's recommendation. The observer shall stand between the microphone and the horn. Background noise shall be minimal. The sound level of the test site immediately before and each of the horn sounding events shall be at least 10 decibels below the level sound during the horn sounding. 9. Measurement procedure. The sound level of the meter shall be set with a weighting the slow exponential response that shall be calibrated with the acoustic calibrator immediately before the after compliance. Any change in therefore, but after the calibration level shall be less than 5/10 of the decimal. After the output of the locomotive horn system has reached a stable level, the A-weighted equivalent sound level slow response to the 10-second duration of the LA equals 10 seconds shall be obtained either directly using the integrated averaging sound level meter record once per second calibrated indirectly in the arithmetic average of a series of at least 6 such as 10-second duration readings such shall be used to determine the compliance to the standard deviation of the reading shall be less than 1/2 of 1.5 decibels. Written reports of the locomotive of the horn testing and cooperative parts shall be made with the reflection of the horn type of the debate in place of the manner of the testing sound level measurement. These reports shall be signed by the person performing the test shall be retained with the railroad at the location of the chief or the subsequent location of horn testing completed with it shall be available upon request of the AFRA provided with the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 20107. Section does not apply to locomotives on rapid transit operation which are otherwise subject to the part. All right, 229-131 Sanders. Prior to the departure of the initial and terminal each locomotive except for the multiple unit locomotive shall be equipped with the E-operative with Sanders to deposit each sand of each of the rail in front of the first of the power-operated wheel and set in the direction of the movement shall be handled in accordance with the requirements contained in Statute 229.9. Locomotives being used in a road surface with Sanders that become inoperative after departure for the initial terminal shall be handled in accordance with the following. Lead locomotive being used on a road surface that experiences inoperative Sanders after departure from the initial terminal may continue in service until the earliest of the following occurrence: the arrival of the next initial terminal of arrival at location where it is placed in the facility with a sand delivery system. The next periodic inspection under the statute 229-23, 14 calendar days from the date of Sanders are first discovered to be inoperative, and a trailing locomotive may be used in road surface that experience inoperative Sanders after the departure from an initial terminal may continue in service until the earliest of the following occurrences. 1. Arrival of the next initial terminal. Arrival at the location where it is placed in the facility with a sand delivery system. The next period inspection under statute 229-23. The locomotive being used as switching service shall be equipped with the operating sander to deposit the sand on each rail in front of the first powered operated wheel set in the direction of the movement. If the sanders become inoperative, the locomotive shall be handled in accordance with the following. The locomotive being used in the switching service direction at a location not equipped with the sand delivery system may continue the service of the system with 7 calendar days from the day the sanders are first discovered and inoperative until the next periodic inspection under statute 229-23, whichever occurs first. Locomotive being used in switch over to the location equipped with the sand delivery system shall be handled in accordance with the requirements contained in statute 229-9. Locomotive being handled under the provision contained with the paragraph B, and C 1 of this section shall be tagged in accordance with the statute 229-9A. All right, 229-133, interim locomotive conspicuous measurement auxiliary external lights. Locomotive at the head of the train other movement is authorized to equip with auxiliary lights additional with a headlight required with the statute 229-125 for the purpose to improve the conspicuous of the locomotive. It is equipped with auxiliary external lights with conformance with the specification and performance standards set with the paragraph B of the section of the day of the issuance for the final rule requires additional other external lights for the locomotive for improper improved conspicuity as required by section 202U of the Federal Railroad Safety Act of 1970 shall be deemed to conform to the requirements of the final rule for the 4 years following the date of the issuance of the final rule. B. Each of the qualifying arrangements external lights shall be conformed with one of the following descriptions. 1. A strobe light shall be consist of 2 lights, stroboscopic lights, each with effective intensity as defined with Illuminating Engineer Society Guide with the calculating effective intensity flashing signal lights November 1964 of at least 500 candela. Flash rate of the strobe lights shall be at least 45 flashes per minute and at most 180 flashes per minute. Strobe lights shall be placed at front of the locomotive at least 40 inches apart and at least 36 inches above the top rail. Oscillating light. An oscillating light shall consist of one steadily burning white light producing 200,000 candela and a moving beam that depicts the circle on the horizontal figure 8 of the in front of above the longitudinal center line of the locomotive. 2 more white lights producing at least 200,000 candelas at each of the location in front of the locomotive, the flash alternating with the beam to the first 5 degrees horizontally to either side of the longitudinal center line of the locomotive. An oscillation light may incorporate the device automatically extinguishing the white light, and if the display of the light in another color is required to protect the safety in railroad operation. 3. Crossing light. Crossing light shall consist of 2 white lights placed at the front of the locomotive at least 36 inches above the top of the rail. Crossing light shall be spaced at least 36 inches apart of the vertical distance between from the headlight and the horizontal axis of the ditch lights is in 60 inches or more. Crossing light shall be spaced at least 60 inches apart, but the vertical distance of the headlight and the horizontal axis of the ditch lights is less than 60 inches. Each crossing light shall produce at least 200,000 candelas, either steadily burning, alternatively flashing. Flash rate of the crossing lights that should be at least 40 flashes per minute and at most 180 flashes per minute. 6. Crossing light shall be focused horizontally within 15 degrees of the longitudinal center line of the locomotive. 4. The oscillating light. An oscillating light shall consist of one steadily burning white light, and at least 200,000 candelas in the moving beam that depicts the circle of the horizontal figure 8 in the front of the longitudinal center of the locomotive. B. Two or more white lights producing at least 200,000 candles each with one location in front of the locomotive. The flashing alternative with a beam of 5 degrees horizontal to either side of the locomotive center line of the locomotive. Oscillating light may incorporate the device to automatically extinguish the white light, the color, and light in the display, and another color is required to protect the safety and railroad operations. Any leading locomotive equipped with the oscillating lights described in paragraph B2 of the section will be ordered with the installation on the locomotive prior to January 1st, 1996, considered in compliance with the 2 Statute 229, 125D1 through 3. Any lead locomotive equipped with the strobe light described in paragraph B1 with the operated with a speed no greater than 40 miles per hour is considered in compliance with the Statute 229, 125D1 through D3 until locomotive is retired or rebuilt, whichever comes first. Any lead locomotive equipped with 2 white light auxiliary space and at least 44 inches apart with at least one axis which is equipped with these auxiliary lights before May 30, 1994 will be considered in compliance with the Statute 229, 125D 1 through 3 until the locomotive is retired and rebuilt, whichever comes first. 229-135 event recorders. Duty to equip the record, except as provided in the paragraph C and D of this section. The train operated faster than 30 miles an hour shall have a in-service event recorder. The type of the described in paragraph B of this section of the lead locomotive the presence of the event recorder shall be noted with the form FRA 618049A of the providing of the make the model event of the recorder which the locomotive is equipped with under the remarks section, except for the event recorder is designed to allow the locomotive to assume the lead position only if the recorder is properly functioning, not required to have the presence noted on the form FRA 618049A. The purpose of this section of the train includes the locomotive or the group of locomotives with or without cars. Duty of the equipped lead locomotive may be met with the event recorder located elsewhere with the lead locomotive provided that such event in the record mounted or is record the recorded data as though it were located in the lead locomotive. The event recorder shall record at least the most 48 hours of the electrical system of the type of the locomotive on which it is installed. Equipment requirements. The event recorder shall monitor record data of the elements required for the paragraph, at least the accuracy required of the indicator displaying any of these required elements to the engineer. A lead locomotive originally ordered before October 1st, 2006, and placed in service before October 1st, 2009, included the control remote distributed power locomotive. The lead man helped the locomotive, the multiple unit locomotive, the multiple unit locomotive, except as provided in paragraph C and D of this section, shall have the in-service event recorder of the records file the data elements. Train speed, selected direction, motion time, distance, throttle, position, application, operation of the train, automatic air brakes, application, operation of the independent brake, application of the operation of the dynamic brake, if so equipped. 9. Cab signal aspects, if so equipped, if any used. 2. A locomotive originally manufactured before October 1st, 2006, and equipped with the event recorder using the magnetic tape is recording. The medium shall have the record removed from the service on or before October 1st, 2009, replaced with an event recorder that certified a crashworthiness event record memory module that meets the requirements of Appendix D of the part that records at least the same number of the data elements as recorded in its place. A lead locomotive, a lead man helper locomotive, the control of a remotely distributed power locomotive other than dead man, multiple unit locomotive originally ordered on or after October 1st, 2006, placed in service on or after October 1st, 2009, shall be equipped with the event recorder within certified crashworthy event record memory module that meets the requirements of Appendix D of this part. The certified event recorder memory should be mounted for its maximum protection, although other mounting standards may be met. Standard event record memory module mounted behind and below the top of the collision post above the platform level of the seam to be mounted for the maximum protection. The event record shall record, and the certified crashworthy event record module memory module shall retain the following data elements: train speed, selected direction, motion time, distance, throttle position, application of operation, train automatic brakes, including emergency application of the system, shall record the provided the means of determining the brake application release results of the manipulation brake controls of the position normally occupied with the locomotive engineer in case of the brake application release, the responsive to a command origination from the executed by onboard computer system, electronic braking system control, and locomotive electronic control system train control computer in the system shall record and provide the means of determining the involvement of any such computer. All right, 7. Application for the operation independent brake. 8. Application for the operation of the dynamic brake if equipped. 9. The cab signal aspects if equipped and used. And end of the train device loss with communication front with the rear and rear of the front. Electronic control pneumatic braking system passage and loss of such message if so equipped. End of the train alarmed emergency brake command emergency brake application. 13. Indication end of the train valve failure, and 14. End of the train brake pipe pressure, and ECP device. 15. End of the train marker of light on and off. End of the train low battery status. 17. Position on and off switches of the headlights on lead locomotive. 18. Position on and off of the switch of the auxiliary lights on lead locomotive. 19. Horn and control handle activation. 20. Locomotive number. 21. Locomotive automatic brake valve cut in. 22. Locomotive position consisting of lead or trail. 23. The track of effort. 24. Cruise control on or off if used and equipped and use. 25. Safety critical train control data required routed the locomotive engineer display with the engineer is required to comply with specifically include the text message conveying the mandatory directives and maximum authorized speed, the format, content, proposed duration, retention. Such data shall be specified in the product safety plan with the PTC safety plan submitted with the train control system under subparts H1, H, or I, respectively, the parts 236 of the chapter subset of the FRA approval under the paragraphs, and if it cannot be calibrated against other data required by this part, such as the train control data, and an election of the data is retained in separate certified crashworthy memory module. The dead multiple unit locomotive, the multiple unit locomotive originally ordered on or after October 1st, 2007, placed in service over the October 1st, 2009, shall be equipped with an event recorder with a certified crashworthy event recorder. Record memory module that meets the requirements of Appendix D of this part. The certified event record memory module shall be mounted on for the maximum protection, although other mounting standards they may meet the standard event with the recorder memory module mounted behind the collision post above the platform level is deemed to be mounted for the maximum protection. The event record shall record the certified crash where the event record memory module shall retain the following data elements: train speed, selected direction, motion, time, distance, throttle position, application, operation, train automatic and air brakes, emergency application system that shall record the provided means of determining the brake application release result, the manipulation, brake control position, normal occupied by the locomotive engineer in the case of the brake application release, the responsive to the computer and originating from the executed by the onboard control computer, electronic braking system control, locomotive electronic control system, the train control computer. The system shall record and provide the means of determining the involvement of any such computer. Application and operation of the independent brake, if so equipped, the application and operation of the dynamic brake, if so equipped, cab signal aspect, if so equipped, and use emergency brake applications, wheel slip, slide, alarm, activation, properly specific minimum duration. 12. Lead locomotive headlight activation switch on and off. 13. Lead locomotive auxiliary light activation switch on and off. 14. Horns control handle activation. 15. Locomotive number, locomotive position, consistent lead of the trail. 17. Tractive efforts. 18. Brake applied, summary train line. 19. Brakes release, summary train line, cruise control on or off, is so equipped to use. 21. Safety critical train control data routed with the locomotive engineer display with which the engineer required to comply with specifically include the text message conveying the mandatory directive of the maximum authorized speed, the format, the content, the proposed duration, the retention. Such data shall be specified in the product safety plan or the PTC safety plan submitted with the train control system under the subpart H1 and 1 respectively of the part 236 chapter subject to the FRA approval under the paragraph if it can be calibrated against other data required by the parts, such as control data. The data may election of the railroad retained with the separate specified crashworthy memory module. 5. A locomotive equipped the event recorder that is remanufactured defined as part on the after October 1st, 2007 shall be equipped with an event recorder with a certified crashworthy event recorder memory module that meets the requirements of Appendix D of the part but capable of recording minimum the same data as recorded that was in the locomotive before that was remanufactured. Alright, 6. An event recorder originally manufactured after January 1st, 2010 that is installed on any locomotive identified with the paragraph B1 of the section B. The event recorder with certified crashworthy event recorder memory with module that meets the requirements for the Appendix D of this part. This is capable of recording at a minimum the same data of the event recorder that was previously on the locomotive. Alright, C. Removal from service. Notwithstanding the duty established for the paragraph A of the section, equipped with certain locomotives within any service event recorder, the railroad may remove the event recorder from the service. If the railroad knows the event of the recorder, it is not monitoring with the recorder. Required data shall be removed with the event recorder from the service when the railroad removes the event recorder from the service. The qualified person shall record the date of the device that was removed from the service on Forms FRA 6518049A with the remarks section unless the event recorder is designed to allow the locomotive to assume the lead position only if the recorder is properly functioning. Responsive to defective equipment, notwithstanding with the duty established in paragraph A of the section, is equipped with a certain locomotive with the in-service event record locomotive on which the event recorder has been taken in service provided with the paragraph C of the section remains at lead locomotive only until the next calendar day inspection locomotive with an operative event record within is not deemed in improbable condition, unsafe operating, non-commodity locomotive under statute 229.7 and 229.9. Other the requirements of appendix D of this part, inspection, maintenance, and testing event of the recorders are limited to the requirements set forth in statute 229.25E and 227D. Preserving accident data. If any of the locomotive equipped with an event with a recorder, any other locomotive mounted with the recording device, the device designed with the recorded information concerning the function of the locomotive, the train involved in any accidents, incidents that required to be reported with the FRA under the Part 225 of the chapter the railroad was using. The locomotive at the time of the accident shall accept the possibility of consistently with the safety of the life of the property preserved the data recorded by each such device for the analysis of the FRA with the preservation requirements permit the railroad to extract and analyze such data provided with the original download data file and unanalyzed exact copy of it shall be retained in secure custody. It shall not be utilized for analysis or any other purpose except for the direction of the FRA National Transportation Safety Board. The preservation requirement shall expire 1 year after the date of the accident unless the FRA board notifies the railroad in writing that the data are desired for the analysis. F. Relationship to other laws. Nothing in this section is intended to alter legal authority, law enforcement, investigation, potential violation, state criminal laws, and nothing in the chapter is intended to alter any way with the priority of the National Transportation Safety Board investigation under the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 1131 and 1134, nor authority of the Secretary of Transportation investigating railroad accidents under Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 5121, 5122, 20107, 20111, 20112, 20505, 20702, 20703, 20902. This disabling event recorders except as provided in paragraph C of this section. Any individual who willfully disables an event recorder is subject to civil penalty and disqualification for performing safety sensitive function on the railroad as provided in the statute 2-1855 of the chapter. Any individual who tampers or alters the data required by sufficient such device and subject to the civil penalty is provided in the appendix B of the part 8.2.18 of the chapter according and disqualification from the performing safety sensitive functions on the railroad is found unfit for such duties on the procedure in part 209 of this chapter. Alright, continuing with 229.137, the sanitation general requirements, sanitary compartments, except for by paragraph B of this section, all the lead locomotives to use shall be equipped with the sanitation compartment. Each sanitation compartment shall be adequately ventilated, equipped with a door that closes and possesses a modest G-lock with 18 months after publication of the final rule, equipped with the toilet facility as defined in this part, equipped with the washing system defined in this part unless the railroad otherwise provided the washing system employs upon the reporting of the duty occupying the cab of the duty. The locomotive is equipped with the stationary sink that's located outside of the sanitation compartment. Equipped with the toilet paper in sufficient quantities to meet the employee's needs unless the railroad otherwise provides toilet paper to the employees upon reporting the duty occupying the cab for the duty. Equipped with a trash receptacle unless the railroad otherwise provides the portable trash receptacles to employee upon reporting for the duty and on occupying the cab for the duty. Exemptions, paragraph 1A through paragraph A through this section shall not apply. Locomotives engaged with a computer service other than short haul passenger service, the commuter work with a transition which the employees have readily access to the railroad provided with the sanitation facilities outside of the train, outside of the locomotive elsewhere on the train that meet the otherwise applicable and sanitation standards that are frequently intervals during the course of their work shift. Locomotives engaged with a switching service on which the employees have the ready access to the railroad provided with the sanitation facilities outside of the locomotive that meet the otherwise applicable sanitation standards frequent intervals during the course of their work. 3. Locomotives engaged in the transfer of the services of the employees have ready access to the railroad provided with the sanitation facilities outside of the locomotive that meet the otherwise applicable sanitation standards frequent intervals during the course of their work shift. 4. Locomotives of Class 3 railroads engaged with the operation other than switching services to transfer stations that are not equipped with the sanitation compartments as in June 30th, 2002. June 3rd, 2002, where unequipped locomotive of the Class 3 of the railroad is engaged in an operation other than switching and transfer service, the employees shall have the ready access to the railroad provided with the sanitation facilities outside of the locomotive that meet the otherwise applicable sanitation standards frequent intervals during the course of their work shift. Their other railroads shall arrange the en route access to such facilities. 5. Locomotive and tour scenic historic excursion railroad operations which are otherwise covered by the PART because they are not propelled by steam power operating on a generally railroad system of the transportation, but on which the employees have ready to access railroad provided sanitation facilities outside the locomotive that meet the otherwise application sanitation standards frequent intervals during the course of their work shift. 6. Except for the provided in Statute 229.14, this part of the dead multiple unit control cab locomotives designed with the passenger occupancy of the intercity, the push-pull service that are not equipped with a sanitation facility where the employees have ready access to the railroad provided with sanitation and other passenger cars of the train at frequent intervals during the course of the work shift. 2. Paragraph A. 3 of this section shall not apply. 1. Locomotive of the Class 1 railroad prior to the effective date of this section were equipped with a toilet facility in which human waste falls with the gravity holding tank where it is stored periodically empty, which does not conform with the definition of the toilet facility set forth in the section. For these locomotives, the requirements of the section pertaining to this type of the toilet facility required shall be effective if these toilets and become defective are on replaced and conforming units. Whichever that occurs the first, all of the requirements set forth in this section shall apply to these locomotives as is June 3rd, 2002. 2. With the respective locomotive Class 1 railroad with the prior June 30, 2002 were equipped with a sanitary station other than the units addressed in paragraph B2.1 of the section contained to remove the human waste by method that does not conform to the definition of the toilet facilities as set forth in this section. Requirements of this section pertaining to the type of the toilet facility shall apply with locomotives in use for January 1st, 2003. However, the Class 1 railroad subject to this exemption shall not be delivered to the locomotives in which the sanitation system to other railroads for the use of the lead position during the time of between June 3rd and 2002 and June 1st, 2003. Other requirements set forth in this section shall apply to the locomotive in the Class 1 railroad as is June 3rd, 2002. Defective unsanitary toilet facility prohibition lead position except as provided in paragraph C1 through 5 of this section. If the railroad determines that during the daily inspection required of the Statute 229.21 locomotive toilet facilities defective and unsanitary, both of the railroads shall not use the locomotive in the lead position. The railroad may continue to use the lead locomotive with the toilet facility if the defective or unsanitary adds the daily inspection only where all the following conditions are met. The unsanitary defective condition is discovered a location where there is no other suitable locomotives available for use, where there is not possible to switch another locomotive into the lead position on a location not equipped with clean sanitation compartment. Unsanitary repair for the toilet facility is defective. If the locomotive is not compliant, did not pass through the location where it could have been cleaned. If an unsanitary repair is defective and switched another compliant with the locomotive since its last daily inspection required of this part. 3. Upon reasonable request of the locomotive, the crew member operating the locomotive with the defective and unsanitary toilet facility, the railroad arranges the access to the toilet facility outside the locomotive that meets the otherwise applicable sanitation standards. 4. If the sanitation compartment is unsanitary, the sanitation compartment door shall be closed and adequate with the ventilation shall be provided within the cab so that it is habitable. The locomotive shall not continue the service of the lead position beyond the locomotion where the defective and unsanitary conditions can be corrected and replaced with another compliant locomotive in the next daily inspection required by this board, or whichever occurs first. Or D. Defective unsanitary toilet facility used in trailing position. Railroad determines during the daily inspection required Statute 229.21 the locomotive of the toilet facility is defective and unsanitary. Both the railroad may use the locomotive trailing position. If the railroad places the locomotive in the trailing position, they shall not haul the employees in the unit unless the sanitary compartment is made sanitary. Prior to the occupancy, if the toilet facility is defective and the unit becomes occupied, the railroad shall clearly mark the defective toilet as unavailable for use. Alright, defective sanitary toilet facility use of the switching transfer service. If the railroad determined that during the daily inspection required in Statute 229.21 the locomotive toilet facility is defective but sanitary, but the railroad may use the locomotive in switching service as set forth in paragraph B12. The section transfer service as set forth in paragraph B13 of the section period not exceeding 10 days. In the instance, the railroad shall clearly mark the defective toilet facility as unavailable for use after expiration date of the 10-day period for the locomotive shall be repaired and used for the trailing position. Alright, F. Lack of toilet paper washing system trash receptacle. If the railroad determined that during the daily inspection required by the statute 229, but the lead locomotive is not equipped with the toilet paper in sufficient quantity to meet the employee needs, the washing system is required in paragraph A4 of this section. Trash receptacle is required with paragraph A6 of this section. Locomotive shall be equipped with these items prior to the departure. Inadequate ventilation. If the railroad determined that during the daily inspection required in the statute 229, the sanitation compartment as lead locomotive and the use not adequately ventilated as required in paragraph A1 of this section, the railroad shall repair the ventilation prior to the departure, or place the locomotive in trailing position in which service is set forth in paragraph B12 of this section. The transfer service is set forth in paragraph B13 of this section. H. The door closes modesty lock. If the railroad determines during the daily inspection required in the statute 229-21 the sanitation compartment on the lead locomotive is not equipped with the door that closes as required in paragraph A21 of the section, the railroad should prepare the door prior to the departure, placing the locomotive in the trailing position, switching service. So forth in paragraph B12 of the section, and transfer services as set forth in paragraph B13 of this section of the railroad determined the daily inspection required with the statute 229-21 modesty lock required in areas A22 section defective modesty lock shall be required pursuant to the requirements of the statute 229-139E. Equipped units, retention and maintenance. Except whether the railroad downgrades the locomotive to serve within which it will never be occupied, where the locomotive is equipped with the toilet facility as the effective date of the final rule, the railroad shall maintain a toilet facility in the locomotive consistent with the requirements of the part and will include the locomotive to use in the switching service for purpose under paragraph B12 of the section, and transfer service pursuant to paragraph B13 of the section. J. Newly manufactured units in cab facilities. All locomotives manufactured after June 3, 2002, except the switching units built exclusively for switching services. Locomotives built with exclusively for commuter services shall be equipped with a sanitary compartment accessible to cab employees where the out existing to the outdoors for the use. The non-railroad may use the locomotive built after June 3, 2002 that does not comply with the subsection. K. Potable water. The railroad shall utilize the potable water where the washing system includes the use of water. Alright, 229-139 sanitation servicing requirements. The sanitation compartment each lead locomotive used shall be sanitary. The call components required by the statute 229-137A. Lead locomotive shall be present consistent with the requirements for this part and shall operate as intended so that all mechanical systems shall function. Water shall be present in the sufficient quantity to permit the flushing for those systems that utilize chemical for the treatment with chemical chlorine or other comparable oxidizing agent. Using treatment waste must be present and non-blockable in presenting the prevent waste for the executing bowl. The sanitation compartment each occupied locomotive using the switching service pursuant to statute 229-137B2-12, the transfer service pursuant to 229-137B13, or in the trailing position when the locomotive is occupied with the sanitary. With the railroad use the locomotive pursuant to statute 229-137E and in switching transfer service to the effective toilet facility, such use shall not extend 10 calendar days from the date of which the defective toilet facility became defective. The date on which the toilet facility becomes defective shall be entered on the daily inspection report. Where it is determined that the modesty lock required in statute 229-137A2, the defective the railroad shall repair the modesty lock on or before the next 92-day inspection required by this part. And then I'm going to pause it and check how long this is, actually.